Hi paint bosses, it is your paint mentor Glina from Glina Artistic Paint Education. Today we are cleaning up a very common confusion in paint production. Yes, what is the difference between oil-based gloss paint and anti-rust paint? Yes, this topic is very crucial. Yes, they may look similar, but their purpose, chemistry, and application are totally different. Yes, it is different. So let's dive into each one. No shortcut, no guessing. And if you're producing oil paint, you will want to hear about our 4-in-1 paint combo ebook at the end of today's tutorial. You understand? So now, oil-based paints are paints made with archive resin, solvent like turpentine and drying oil. You understand? They dry slowly, but they form strong, glossy, and durable coating. Yes, which most of us are not aware. So now, oil-based paint are used where you need glossy finishing, long-lasting protection for interior and exterior durability. Yes, and also it has this smooth surface appearances when applied in your either metal surfaces or your wall surfaces. And of course, we have types of oil-based paint which most people are not familiar with. We have the gloss oil paint, which are high shine, used for doors, gates, furnitures, and metal work, and it's easy to clean. And then we have the matte oil paint. It has this non-shine reflectiveness, smooth finishing, and is ideal for vintage aesthetic or when reflection is not desired. You understand? It is used for furniture, wood, and panel. And again, we have the undercoat paint, which is the oil paint. It's applied before gloss paint. Please take note. It helps paint bond properly to metal or wood, and also it improves durability and prevents gloss paint from peeling. So if you always apply gloss paint and it's always peeling, then use your undercoat paint. You understand? And that gloss paint will stop peeling. You understand? So what are the common mistakes that usually occur and most people skip? You understand? Many people skip undercoat and go straight to gloss application. Yes, that is why the paint start peeling. You understand? Like which I said, and they usually have issues. You understand? So gloss is a beautiful paint, but without the right undercoat, it weakens over time. Now let's move over to what is anti-rust paint. A lot of people, they know anti-rust, but they don't really know the function of this paint. So anti-rust paints are not just for decorative, they are designed to protect metal surfaces from corrosion and rust. This paint includes active chemicals that prevent moisture from reaching the metal surfaces. You understand? And by understanding their functionality, you'll be able to know them better. You understand? So their functions for coating: one, for gates, pipe, and heavy metal duties. You understand? And for marine structures, and also industrial metal parts. You understand? And we also have types of anti-rust paint if you are not familiar with this. Yes, a lot of people are not familiar with it. So number one is your red oxide anti-rust paint. You understand? It is for rust preventing. You understand? And it contains iron oxide pigments, which is the red. That is why it's called red. You understand? And it is used for general steel protection, often used before gloss or other decorative coating. You understand? And it's common in fabrication, like fabrication shops and metal construction. And then we have the number two, which is your black oxide anti-rust paint, which a lot of us are not familiar with. You understand? So this black oxide anti-rust paint is a strong desired formula preferred in marine or high moisture areas You understand? And suitable for shipping containers or heavy duty metal work or rusts that are so bad. You understand? It slightly shines but has mostly matte finish. You understand? So this anti-rust is not a final paint, please. It is a protective primer. It stops rust but needs a finishing coat like gloss paint or industrial enamel paint. You understand? So let's break it down clearly so you don't get confused on these two types of paint. Like I said, you understand? So what are the common mistakes? So the common mistakes are that you already know that gloss paints are used for metal surfaces application, and if you want to achieve a more durable gloss paint, then you can apply your undercoats underneath and then you apply your gloss paint on top of it. So that's to say that your gloss paint serves as a top coat layer for your surveillance surfaces treatment, which could be your metal or your walls, you understand, or furniture, depending on where you want to apply this particular paint, you understand. Then when it comes to your anti-rust paint, which I just said, you have two types of anti-rust paint. So let's see it this way, that your red oxide anti-rust paint is when you need to treat rusty surfaces, you understand, and these rusty surfaces could be maybe corrosion or either of all these challenges, you understand. Then while your black red oxide anti-rust paint are for tedious, that's rust metals that are so pronounced, you understand, that you just need to cover the surfaces, you understand, and then you now apply the top coat paint. In most cases, a lot of people don't even apply the top coat paint. They just use either the anti-rust paint or the anti-rust red oxide paint or the black anti-rust black oxide paint, you understand. So be it whichever way you want to achieve all of this application process, you already know the differences between your red oxide anti-rust paint and your black oxide anti-rust paint. You know that your black anti-rust paint is stronger, more durable. It is not that it is more stronger than the red oxide anti-rust paint, you understand. It's just that it is good for heavy duty metal work. You understand? And remember, like I said, anti-rust is not a final paint. It is a protective primer. It stops rust but needs a finishing coat like gloss or industrial enamel paint, which you can apply as the final coat, which a lot of people skip this process depending on how this metal finishes looks like, you understand. So that is why I have to explain it deeper for you to be able to understand this process. So if you want to master oil paint production like an expert, you need the right training, and that is why we've created our oil combo ebook, the 4-in-1 formula pack. Yes, this is an advantage guide that include the gloss oil paint production process, the matte oil paint production formulation process, the undercoat paint, which is the red and the black anti-rust paint formula, you understand, and it includes the full chemical breakdown, the right chemistry, and of course the step-by-step instruction on how to go about producing this paint, solvent types, dryers, and resin balances, because you have to balance each of your resins very well. And the ideal for this paint manufacturing, you understand, the reselling and the processes of how to go there in marketing each and every one of these paints. For those of us that our specialty is just in the oils solvent base page, you understand, because you know we have the water based paint and the oil solvent base paint, and most people's specialty is just in the oil based solvent, which is also called the gloss paint. So if you know that you are a paint manufacturer, that your specialty is only in the oil gloss Savannah base paint, then I think this 4-in-1 combo is going to be suitable for you, because you're not just only going to learn how to produce each of this paint, you're also going to learn how to formulate your own gloss paint paste to help you achieve the durability of the glossness, and of course help you produce this perfect glow paste that is going to be suitable for your production process. You understand? So just click the link in the description or comment oil book, and we'll send you the purchase info instantly. Don't just produce oil paint, produce professional oil paint that performs. You understand? And using the wrong paint can damage your brand. If you use gloss where you need anti-rust paint or anti-rust as a final coat, it won't last. You understand? So now it is good to understand the system. Yes, which is 1, anti-rust protects the metal. 2, undercoat helps adhesion. 3, gloss finishes and gloss finishes paint beautifies the surfaces. You understand? So together they give you a solid, lasting result. It is very important to learn it, use it, and teach your team. So subscribe for more tutorial and comment below oil book if you want the 4-in-1 guide. Let's keep producing paint that keeps customers coming back for more of our product. So thank you for tuning in today, and until next time, bye for now.